YouTube, what's happening? It is Thursday, August 15th, and as you can see, we ain't got many games today. And look, I'm going to say it for everybody, good. We need us a little bit of a break. We've had 2 red days in a row now, so we need to bring it back a little bit. You see, the first 4 games of today's schedule are still the same matchups we're dealing with, but the last 3 are new matchups. And sometimes you just need that new change of scenery to just revitalize and do things differently. So before we jump to the games, I have a question though. We have college football starting next weekend, actual real games, and then 2 weeks we have NFL week 1 starting up. I want to know, tell me in the comments what you're going to do. When football starts back, are you going to drop baseball completely and just focus on football? Because I know a lot of people will. So, but I'm not. I'll still keep making videos every single day for baseball because there's people out there, all they do is baseball, and I get it. So I want to keep making videos for you. But I'm just curious. I want to see what % of people actually just stop betting baseball. Because I know right now we're betting it because there's nothing else to bet really. So we're focusing on that. And people will just ditch it and go for football. And then even the basketball ones, if you're just waiting for basketball and you're just doing this, let me know in the comments what your plan is. And I just want to see the numbers to see how they line up. So on top of that, drop a like and subscribe. And let's go ahead and jump into that first game right now. All right, first game up, Oakland in New York. We can see the Mets are a pretty decent favorite. 8.5 is the total. Look over here at the weather. We can see there's a chance of rain. It could rain. No real wind to worry about. 64% nerfy based on what they've done this year. 6 runs and 282 for Oakland in the last 3. That's 7th and 26, but they were shut down pretty good yesterday. New York 4.7, 257. That's 16th and 15th, and they trended up. So there's no real advantage on that in the bats in the last 3, really, if you look at first and third overall. So strikeouts 8.310, slight advantage Oakland. This means Mets strike out more than usual. Looking at the pitchers, we got Quintana going out here today. We can see what he has done. He has not faced Oakland recently. Pretty good, except for a 6-5 against Colorado, a 4-5 against Seattle, and those are the 2 bad ones. Mitch Spence is going out there for Oakland, and 8-2, 5-2, 3-1, 6. Yeah, Philly was his worst game, but his last 4 games have been pretty good against some. The Dodgers were good, and Toronto's good, so. Let's look at the props, see if anything stands out. Because so far, I'm not really seeing advantage in the pitching so far, or the bats. We'll start with Quintana. That's where we're at. Let's see. 1 for 3 and 1 for 2. Nothing stands out there. Oakland versus lefties. Yeah. Angela loves them some lefties, but outside of that, a lot of them don't. And yeah. Rooker's on paternity. That's fun. So he's not going to be there. That makes things better. Let's see what else we got. Outs is very inconsistent. Strikeouts, very up and down. Ooh. Hits, up and down as well. Earned runs, walks, very up and down. Now, thanks in the comments to like 4 people who said it's Hard Rock has walks. I did not know that. They finally put it on there, thankfully. So now I can actually take walks again. So, so nice. I should have went back and added those 2 yesterday, but whatever. It's fine. So yeah, very up and down. So I need some consistency when it comes to my walks. So this ain't consistent. So let's pop over here to Mitch. Ooh, look at that. We'll get to that in a second, but we will come back and look at that. 1 for 1 for him. Nothing there. New York against righties. We got some good numbers. The whole team's better against lefties, but I would argue 265, 281, 289, 65, 94. Decent numbers, can't complain. Outs, I mean, is this dude not consistent or what? I mean, whole season. Yeah, he's only gone under 50. Why is it 15.5? I mean, I get it. I appreciate it. But that tells me, like, what? Is New York going to tee off on him? I don't care. When you see consistency like this, you just, I mean, we take stats around here, and Spence over 15.5 pitching outs is going to be a play. I just got to do it because you see something like this, it just, I don't care. Yeah, so this game was Philly teed off on him for 6 runs, and then this was Colorado, and these were the first 2 games of the season, so that doesn't really matter to me. So yeah, I will take that. Sure. It might be a gift. And you know what they say about gifts? You don't look a gift horse in the mouth. So strikeouts, he's gone down recently. I don't like that. Hits, he's been fairly consistent, but that's right there. Earned runs, walks. He was good, terrible, 0. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so nothing there. Let's go to the bats. Oops, let's be the right game. Today's game. Here we go. We only got a few. We got Lindor, Iglesias, Bader, McNeil, Winkler. All Mets. There are zero Oakland A's on this list. Down here is the closest A at 60%. So if you want to take them, have fun. I'm not. So for this, I'm not going to take a side. Everything seems too close. Yeah, Mets crushed yesterday. That's fine. I don't see that big of a difference. It could be a close game. It could be a crush. Who knows? Only thing I'm going to take is I'm going to take that Spence over 15.5 pitching outs and move on to the next game. All right, next up we got Seattle and Detroit. Seattle is a slight favorite on the road. 8 is your total. There's the weather. Should be pretty good. A little bit of wind. Not really concerned. Detroit's on a 3-game winning streak. 47% nerfy percent based on what they've done this year. 5 runs, 204 average for Seattle in their last 3. That's 14th and 23rd. Not the best numbers. That's why you've lost 2 in a row. Detroit, 7.7 and 313. Number 1 in both. The Detroit Tigers in 2024. Anything is possible. If you say it's impossible, just look at that. The Detroit offense is number 1 in the last 3 games. Miracles do happen. Seattle back to their throne at 30th on strikeouts at 12.7. That's where they belong. That's where they always are. 7.7 for Detroit. So let's look at the pitchers. We got Bryce Miller going out here today for Seattle. We can see great game last time against the Mets. 3-hit gem. Before that, Phillies gone for 4. White Sox gone for 3. But then a few gems before that. So dude, really good. Outside of a couple, where he gives up a few. But even then, he's not getting blown up. So Alex Vado is going out there for Detroit. He's a relief pitcher. You can see it is going to be a bullpen game for them. So hence why they're underdogs. But you can see what he does. He still gives up some runs occasionally, but he's not that bad. So let's look at the props. I can look at one prop. I can look at Bryce Miller. So outlier, link in the description. If you haven't checked it out, you get a free week. It's worth checking out. So let's see if I can even get a history on the other guy. Let's go with Fado first. I can. Nice. I don't have props on him, but I can get a history. So Polanco's 1 for 7. That ain't good. 1 for 3, 2 for 4. Nothing really stands out history-wise. Seattle versus righties. A lot of 2s, couple 1s, no 3s. So nothing impressive there. Let's swing back over to Miller now. Miller history. McHistory's 1 for 6. And then not enough history to really worry about here. Detroit versus righties. They're better against righties. I mean, we got some 1s, but they're better than lefties. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 100s. That ain't good, but I mean, they're number 1 right now. They're when it's clicking, it's clicking. So you got to ride the wave. It's baseball. That's what we have. Trends are a thing for a reason. So hits. This is all Bryce Miller. Is going to be very up and down. Strikeouts against Detroit. Detroit's not striking out much, so this is not something I want to look at. Earned runs. I mean, he's either really good or just gives up, yeah, not enough for me to really want to take an under right now. He hasn't walked more than 2 in 8 games now. That's impressive. How about for the whole season? Oh, he's okay. Wins. I mean, outs. And he has like a little, he's not really that consistent on outs. So nothing really looks good there. Let's look at the bats, see if anything stands out. We have 4 dudes. Really, we have 2. It's Parker Meadows and Zach McKinstry, both for Detroit. They're both, McKinstry 70% in both HRR and bases in the last 10. And Meadows is 80%. Same thing, last 10. So if you want to take either of those, they're doing pretty good. I don't take anything that's in the yellow. 6 out of 10 or worse. Come on, 60%? That ain't passing, really. So I need some passing scores. But for me, with this being a bullpen game, those are Detroit batters. Bryce Miller's good. We just saw that. He's a good pitcher. It's a bullpen game for Detroit, so I'm not taking a side. I'm not taking a nerfy with that offense. I don't care who's pitching. Yeah, I think this game is going to be a complete pass for me and just move on to the next one. All right, next up, we got the Dodgers and the Brewers. Dodgers are a slight favorite. 8 is your total. It's Milwaukee. They're in a dome, so there's no worry about weather. 50% nerfy based on what they've done this year. 5.3, 262 for LA. That's 12th and 11th. Top of the 15, not too bad. Milwaukee, 24th at 3.0, 28th at a $1.72. That ain't good for Milwaukee. So Milwaukee's struggling. So you got to give LA the advantage of the bats, just based on the last 3. Let's look at the pitchers a little closer. We got Flaherty going out there for the Doyas. Not the best game against Pittsburgh. Gem against Oakland. And you can see before that, when he was in Detroit, you can see what he's done. Tobias, pretty good numbers. I mean, look at all this is good. Every game except for his Colorado game, but that's at Coors Field. And Coors Field, you tend to give up more runs. It's just what happens. Ask any Rockies fan ever. Ask them. So you can see, yeah, that's gonna be a good pitching matchup. I think this is gonna be a good one. What's the total? 8. Ooh, I wish that was 8.5. Just saying. All right, let's come over here. Let's go Flaherty first. Flaherty history. Adams, the first one that looks out. Just 10 at bats, 300, 2 homers, 3 RBIs, 1.2. He's going on the list of bats that stood out to me. Let's see if his bats numbers line up real quick while we're talking about him. Up there he is, 70% HRR. Yep, he likes facing Flaherty, and we get a plus 110, 70%. He's done it. Even though the bats are struggling, he's still doing well. So we're going to put him on the list at 1.5 HRR for sure. Let's come back here. Anyone else stand out? No. Against righties, the team's pretty good against righties. Most of them are. They're just, yeah, pretty good. Let's pop over here. Even though Milwaukee's struggling a little bit. Oh, whoa, what is this? I just stopped mid-sentence. I'm like, whoa, that's a lot of green. So, all right, this is pitching outs. Under, okay. Oh, why is it 18.5? What is this? Do they expect him? Is there a conversation he might go longer because the bullpens are taxed or something? That's the only thing I can think of. This is Flaherty. Flaherty had the injury like a month ago that he was like kind of nagging before he got traded with Detroit. So I'm taking this. You see something like this, it's, yeah, the juice is a little heavy, but we don't just talk about records. We talk about profits, and profits are profits. So I will take that. I'm going to do it. I don't care. We're taking the profits on it because that feels like a gift. And you know what they say in betting? If it's a gift, it's probably a trap. But hey, guess what? I'm going to step in that trap today. So why not? Let's do that. Let's go to Myers. Let's see what he's got. Nothing. And a lot of red on here. We got some 2s. Freeman's 300. Otani, your typical ones. Nothing stands out. Outs for Myers. Very, kind of up and down. Yeah, we don't know how long he's going to go. Strikeouts. Very up and down. Hits. Nothing's looking too good. None of those look good. Go back to the bats. I already got Willie here. Got him. You got Ortiz, Contreras, Lux, Rojas, Hernandez, Hoskins. You have all of them. Hoskins is at 80 on both of his. Hernandez is at 80, but everybody else is 70. I already got Adams here. I want to take him for sure. I'm not going to take anything else. So I got Flaherty under 18.5 pitching outs. Kind of the same with the whole Spence one with Oakland. Just why? Okay, I'll take it. And then Adams 1.5 HRR, and we'll move on to the next game. All right, next up we got Atlanta and San Francisco. Pretty much a pick 'em, slight lean towards San Fran. 7 is your total. Let's look over at the weather. We are in San Fran at the Bay at Oracle. There we go. Pretty good day. Winds blowing out at 10. That might be a noteworthy thing. Let's come back here. Giants have lost 4. Can we just talk about how bad Ray was last night? It was like historically bad. He hit people, he walked them, and that first inning, his whole tenure that day was yesterday was just rough. It was a rough day. He wasn't on point. It happens. What can you do? So, anyways, 58% Nerfy based on what they've done this year. 6 runs, 227 for Atlanta. That's 7th in runs, 21st in average in the last 3 games. Atlanta's on a 3-game winning streak. I say, oh, look, you're not going to make the playoffs. They fall out of playoff contention, and they said, all right, bet. And they started playing harder now, so they're doing better. Yesterday, yeah, they had 13 runs yesterday, so, I mean, come on. Yeah, there you go. 1.7 and a $1.81 for San Fran. That's 26th, 27th. That ain't going to get the job done. That ain't going to help you win games. That's why you blow 500 again, because of that. So 11.3 for both teams in strikeouts is kind of wild. They're both terrible in strikeouts. So let's pop over to the pitchers. We got Mr. Fried Chicken coming out here. We can see what he did. He has just not been good this month. 2 games in a row, just not. And it's Miami and Colorado, 2 of the bottom 3 teams in the league. He has struggled. I say Miami's one of the bottom 2. I feel like they're not. I feel like they're a little bit better now. So, but I mean, let's be honest. 2 bottom 5 teams. There we go. Yeah. So, and Logan Webb's coming out here. He's had 3 good games in a row. He had a few games where he give up more, but his last 3 games is Oakland, Washington, Detroit. Not the strongest offenses, but hey, still good games overall. Can't complain. Let's pop to the props. Let's do Logan first since we're talking about him. Boop. A lot of history here. A lot of history. So we can see. Yeah, Soler doesn't do good against his former teammate. That's funny. 625 home run. Harris, Harris back. I want to see how he does in a little bit. I mean, it's been a minute since he played, so 316 for both Olson and Riley, but Olson's got a home run. Okay, I see some stuff I like. How many bats we got? We got Olson bases at 80%. We got Riley at a 1.5 HRR. So Riley is at 316 and 19 at bats, but not a good OPS. So we'll pass on that. Olson 316 with a home run, 4 RBIs, a 907, and he was bases. Yeah. Oh, look at the juice, 190. You know what? Today doesn't matter. We're not bragging records. We're talking about profits. That's all we look at. So I'm going to take it. Olson over 0.5 bases. That feels low. I feel like it should be 1.5 with that kind of juice, but hey, whatever, we will take it. So anybody else I'm not really feeling. I haven't got to the point where I'm doing unders yet, so let's do nothing really stands out here for them. Let's come over and look at fried chicken. Let's see. Wait. Oh yeah. I was like, wait, we already saw these. There we go. That's better. A lot of red. Ooh, Conforto's terrible, terrible, terrible. Listen, only one's Kana. Kana has amazing numbers. What is this? Okay. Is Kana one of the dudes? He is not. So we're not gonna Kana I'll put on the list for San Fran. And we'll also put Olson or ATL, just so people can look them up themselves and see the numbers. But yeah, that's good. That's good stuff. So let's look at the lefties. Yeah, San Fran crushes lefties typically. I don't know if they're going to today, but they do typically. Hits. Yeah, that's pretty close to going over 4.5 hits, and recently he has gone over 2. If San Fran wasn't so terrible right now, I would take this, but since they're terrible, I'm going to pass. Strikeouts, up and down. Walks. Ooh, he's been walking a bunch lately. But I'm not going to take a walk yet. Not yet. And his outs are going down more. Okay, nothing looks good there. The rest of the props you see is just Tremsky and Carcion and Fitzgerald. If you want to take those, by all means. For me, I'm going to pass on those. I got Olson over half a base. That's all I'm going to play in this game. Because both pitchers are good. San Fran crushes lefties, even though they're not doing well, so I don't want to take a side. So we're just going to pass on everything else. Next game. All right, 5th game. Boston, Baltimore. Finally, a new game with the start of a new series. The last 3 are all brand new series, so for the weekend. Love that. We have Baltimore, slightish favorite at home, 8.5. Let's look at some weather for Baltimore. We can see pretty good. No rain, no wind. It's going to be a good day. So a 47% NRFI, 7 runs, 290 average for Boston in the last 3. That's 3rd and 4th in the majors. Baltimore, 2.7, 257. That's 25th and 15th in both runs and average. You got to give the advantage to Boston in this one for sure. Strikeouts are about the same at around 9 a game. Looking at the pitchers, we got Pivetta going out there for Boston. We can see Pivetta, it's been mostly good except for that one game at Colorado. I'm saying the games at Colorado will get you. So, but since a little bit against Oakland, but other than that, pretty good. Can't complain. Has to face Baltimore recently. Eflin's going out there for Baltimore. You can see has not faced Boston. His last game was before hit gem against Tampa Bay, his former team, obviously. He did not want to let them do anything. And then before that, good against Cleveland. Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good numbers. Can't complain. Decent pitchers all around. Don't really see an advantage. Let's look at the props. We'll start with Pivetta first since we got to pull it up. Pivetta. We got a lot of history, obviously. Same division he got traded to, so 10 for 300, but nothing to show for it. 27, 333 for Mullins. I mean, 1 home run, 1 RBI, and 27 bats. That's not impressive to me. Santander doesn't have a home run. Mountcastle's only batting 250, but he does have 2 home runs and 24, so none of that's really impressive. So we'll leave those off. Against righties, most of these are 2s. They're almost 300 for Gunner, but nothing else is really standing out. And we'll pop over. Forgot the props. Hits allowed 4.5. I mean, he's been a couple games he's dealed recently, so I mean he is prone to go over, but he is facing Baltimore's offense, who's kind of struggling a little bit. So we'll pass. Strikeouts. Neither team striking out too much. They're both middle of the road. I want somebody in the 20s if I'm taking strikeouts. Earned runs 1.5, and it's over. I was gonna say, wow, does that juice so much? You're going, let's see, it's against Baltimore. Yeah, Baltimore. Nothing's really standing out here. No, and the outs, we don't know how many innings he's going to pitch. That is a guess. You might as well put numbers in a hat and pull one out, and that's how many innings he will have. Ooh, let's go to F1. F1 matchup. All right. Abreu's got a 429, 7 at bats. Devers 462, 2 homers, 1.6, and 13 at bats. Yeah, I would say that stands out. Devers for Boston. Now let's pop over here and see if he's on my list over here. No, he is not on the list of last 10. How about that? He fell down. He's at 50%, and only 2 out of 5 in his last games. Wow. All right, so I guess he will not make the list because I'm not putting somebody who's struggling right now. I don't care what you've done in your history if you struggle right now. So that's the only one that really stands out. Against righties, it's Boston. They're pretty good against everybody. You can see the numbers. Everybody's at least a 200. There's a 219 is your worst number. Some 300s there. Yeah, Boston should do well. Outs for Eflin, it's pretty consistent, but not against a team with a top 4 average and top 4 runs. You might get rocked early. Strikeouts 4.5 against Boston. No, Boston's not striking out like Boston usually does. They're doing better. It's allowed 5.5. You dealed last game, but it was Tampa Bay. Now you're facing Boston. It's a completely different animal. What's your earned runs looking at? So you've been pretty good. That was Tampa. That was Cleveland, Toronto. You're at home, though. That does matter being at home. I kind of want to take the hits over, but the numbers just aren't lining. The stats aren't there. Let's go to bats. Okay, we saw these. We got Adley, Smith, Hamilton, Jackson, Rafaela, Yoshida. I don't like any. I don't like any of the props. No props in this game. Outside of that, I lean Boston in the bats. I don't see an advantage with the pitching. They're both decent pitchers, so we're not going to do team totals. I'm not doing a nerfy. I'm not doing a side. I'm just going to pass completely on this game and move on to the next one. All right, another new matchup. We got Washington and Philly. Philly is almost 300 or 270, and they will probably be close to 300 by the time first pitch happens tonight. 8.5 is your total. Let's look at the weather. We are in Philly. We can see it's pretty nice outside. Slightest of chance of rain, 3 miles an hour, so no real worries there. 53% nerfy based on what they've done this year. 4.7 with a 280 for Washington in their last 3. That's 16th and 7th in the majors. Philly, 4.7, 258. That's 16th and 13th. So same runs across the board. Averages are only 22 points different, so there's no difference in bats. And look, they're both strikeouts. They just don't strike out. So good job, guys. Good job. Let's look at the pitchers. We got Mitchell Paca going out there for Washington. We can see Jem against Milwaukee. Jem against LA. Yeah, his last 3 games have been good. It's been pretty good teams. Okay, outside the Angels. But Milwaukee and Arizona, yeah, good teams. Wheeler's going out there for Philly. Jem against Arizona, Jem against Seattle, 777s against New York. But before that, he's had 1 bad game in the last 6 games. So we got a pretty good pitching matchup today. Props it up. Let's go with Wheeler first. Wheeler, history, Garcia, not good. Abrams, 313. Nothing is really, a lot of red. That's a lot of red on the screen. Against righties, some do great and some do not. So it's very up and down. A lot of 2s, pretty average. Strikeouts is gone up recently, a little upward trend, but they don't strike out, so we're not taking that, obviously. Hits, he's just not giving up many hits, but he is prone. He is prone. Nothing stands out so far. Earn runs, walks. He has been walking more, 1.5. He's hit this in 7 out of 10. And he's very up and down on outs. We're being a little more cautious than probably I should, but hey, it's a short day. It's Thursday. We're back-to-back res. We're being a little more conservative. It's okay. We can be conservative in baseball. It happens. Let's look at Parker's matchup, see if anything stands out. Phillies do good against lefties. You can see the numbers. Everybody's good except for Ross, and then some are just insanely crazy with their stats. Hits, 5.5 for Parker. I took this last time. How's Phillies offense doing? 13th and 16th. They're pretty mid right now. Strikeouts, we're not taking that one, obviously. He's only given up 2 runs in 3 games. Yeah, dude is cooking right now with the baseball. I don't see, yeah, I just don't see it. There's no way I can take any of those. Go to the bats. Any bat standouts? We got Call, Harper, Ruiz, Wood. None. I'm not liking any of those. Okay, I was excited about having a new series, but I might have another pass. Whoa, my goodness. Offense the same, pitchers the same, no props. I'm not taking a Nerfy. I'm not taking anything. I'm just going to pass on this one and move to the next one. All right, last game, Minnesota, Texas. Minnesota slight lean. 8 is your total. It's in a dome. We don't have to worry about looking at any weather. Look at the bats. We see 54% Nerfy based on what they've done. 7.3, 299 for Minnesota. That's second and third in the last 3 games in the majors. Texas, 5.7, 241. That's 9th in runs, 18th in batting average in the last 3. So you got to give the advantage to Minnesota in the bats. Looking at strikeouts, nothing really stands out so far. Pitching, we have Ober going out there for Minnesota. We can see what he has done. Dude has just been cooking all month and a half. So, when was his last bad game? Literally, when was? I mean, you count 4 being bad. It was Pittsburgh, but it was probably this 9-6 in May was his last one against KC. So, dude's just been consistently good. Cody Bradford's going out there. He pitched. You can see what he's done. He had 5 innings in his last game on the 10th, 5 hits, 1 earned against New York, 4 and 3 against Boston. Yeah, you can see what he's done. Not too, yeah, okay. Yeah, there's enough. So let's go to the props. Let's do Bradford since we're talking about him. So since 2018 history, bunch of zeros. He ain't gave up nothing to nobody so far. Against lefties, Minnesota does pretty well. We got a lot of green up here. We got some 300s. Now we got a couple reds that are just terrible against them, but what can you do? Look at the props, strikeouts. Let's just do 2024. Yeah, he pitched 3, and then he was out for a while, just not pitching for a while, and then now he's back. His last 2 was 3 and 7, 4.5 against a team that neither one's striking out much. Hits, he doesn't give up many hits. He's been pretty good. Can't complain. Earned runs, walks, hits, but it is Minnesota, and Minnesota is on fire offensively, so I really don't want to be messing with that. So let's pop over to Ober. Ooh, look at all the green. We'll come back to that. We'll come back. Let's look at this first and see if anything. Yeah, Simeon stands out. 556, 2 home runs, 2 RBIs, a 1.9 and 9 at bats. Are you on the bat list, my friend? Simeon. You ain't even on the screen. That ain't good. Okay. I will put him down here in the list of dudes that stood out, though. Just because people like to see that list. Outside of that, I mean, yeah, that's impressive. That's crazy. Grossman, 625, but we got a lot of red. And, yeah, nothing else. Against righties, nothing stands out there. Okay. Now the outs. So we're saying he's going to go... If he goes 6 full innings, I win. Now you're facing not Minnesota. You're facing Texas, who they've warmed up. They were terrible a few days ago, but they're slowly getting better with the bats. I think I still take this because, yeah, he seems to go 6. Let's look at the whole season, what he's done. He had a stretch for a while, he did, but then he just ramped it up recently, and I like that. Head to head, he only did this this was May and not last year. So I'm still going to take that. I'm going to risk it. I'm going to risk it for the biscuit. We're going to go over 17.5 pitching outs. I have 3 pitching outs on my card. I haven't had pitching outs on my card in like 2 weeks at all. And all of a sudden today I have 3. Sometimes you just got to take what you can get. So strikeouts. Okay. 5.5. Minnesota is 16th in strikeouts right now. I mean, not Minnesota. Texas is 7th in strike, 8 with 7.7. Ooh, head to head. Oh, he doesn't strike out Texas very well. Okay. We'll just keep pitching out so far. We'll leave those alone. He's gone down at hits. Like I say, he's been cooking recently. Earned runs, walks. He does walk some, but not too much. So I'm just going to take this out. I mean, just get me 6 innings. I don't care what you do. Just stay in for 6 innings. Don't do no 5 2/3 shenanigans, but just get me 6. And the bats, Vasquez, 90% bases. Young, Vasquez, Garcia, Sager. Oh, Sager's right there. What was Sager? Surprised he didn't pop up more. Hold up. I gotta pop back over here real quick. Let me look. Sager is 1 for 4 with a home run and 1.4. Nah, not anymore. I need more history. I need a little more history before I take that. I mean, that seems nice, but okay. All right, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take Ober over 17.5 pitching outs. Outside of that, I'm not gonna take a side. Both teams are scoring runs. Bradford's not bad. I just don't have enough stats. I don't know. I don't have. He's only pitched 2 games. Ober is just beasting since May, so he's due. If you believe in the due theory, he's due for a bad game. So, because all of his games have just been consistently good, but. I mean, does it come against Texas with this offense? I don't know. So I'm just going to take the Ober pitching outs. We're not going to take anything else in this game and just call it a day. Have a nice, relaxing Thursday, okay? Call this one a day. That's it. Thursday is over. It's going to be hopefully very peaceful, very tranquil, very relaxing. I don't have a money line parlay. I didn't pick a single money line out there. There wasn't one that stood out to me, so none of those on the list. I have 3 pitching outs of all things. I have a base and I have an HRR. I have 5 plays. That's it. Now, I did identify like 5 dudes that can hit a home run. Adams for Milwaukee, Connor for San Fran, Olsen for Atlanta, Devers for Boston, and Simeon for Texas. All have crazy historical stats versus the pitchers they're facing. So that might be a fun play. Just put all those as a home run bet, each one. And, you know, $1 on all 5 because you never know what could happen. So, yeah, that's all we're going to have. So nothing, no money line parlay. We skipped a couple games. So actually we skipped 3 games, 3 of the 7. So yeah, what can you do? So it's Thursday. It's a travel day. We get a break ourselves. We don't have to go hard every single day. We get to relax and just have a few plays and just get ready for the weekend. So drop a like and subscribe. Check out Outlier. Check out if you want to skip the watching and just get a list of plays. You can join the Discord, Patreon, become a YouTube member. All those are options. Links are in the description. Links in the top comment. Leave me a comment. Again, let me know once baseball ends. When football starts, when college and NFL start, are you going to just stop betting baseball and just focus on football or maybe even basketball in a few months? I just want to know, are you just betting baseball because baseball is the only thing on right now? I'm just trying to get a gauge of what the viewers see. So, because I'm still putting out everything, I'm going to have days where I'm putting out 3-4 videos. I already know it's coming. So, we're going to have to double up the coffee, I think. So, let me know in the comments what you think. Hopefully, we all be profitable, and we'll see you tomorrow.